Okay, the second part of this tutorial, we wanted to run our test script, uptest on devices one by one. Just a quick reminder of what we are trying to achieve here. So we are trying to generate screenshots from multiple devices in one run, and we won't use any external tools or any dependencies. So in the last video, we stopped on having a test when we can just open a single device, run our tests, generate screenshots for this device, and then kill the simulator. What's the plan for this video? So in this video, we actually plan to finish everything else. So we need to get list of all these devices, name of the device, device ID, and then just execute the same scenario for all of them. And then the same thing for Android, basically. So let's see how it works. I think there is some problem with our test script here. So we have a delay, and let's say we need to call pump and settle after the delay as well. Maybe let's reduce this to 5 seconds. And just to prevent this empty space, because we should have an image here, and Flutter requires some time to get this image. Let's try again with a single device. Okay, yeah, and that's definitely helped, because now we can see this image right away. Okay, so let's try to get list of these devices and run our test on all of them. But first of all, what I want to do is to define our device model. We will need a name, ID, and device type as well. iOS and Android. We won't support web now. Device type. And let's also add a couple of helper functions. Like if Android, and if iOS. Okay, let's comment this for now. Let's define a function called get iOS devices. And this should be future. To get list of devices, we have to call xrun sim control list. So as a first task, let's try to run this from our script and get the output as we see in our terminal. So wait process. And process run returns process result. So result, and we can see std out right over here. If we check what std out is, it's output of the process, and if null was used for std out encoding, then the value is a list of int, otherwise it's a type of string. And if you can see that std out encoding, by default it's system encoding, so it's not null. So we can expect that std out is a string. So let's call this devices list raw, and we can just print it. And now let's call this function iOS devices. Wait, get iOS devices. And we got the same result. Now we don't need these device types. All we need is this section. So the most easy way, I guess, is just to get sublist from here. Let's go devices list or device substring, and start will be index of devices. So let's try this again. Now we just have our devices, and for this, I would say let's just use a regular expression to extract this ID. So I'm not very strong with regular expressions, to be honest. So let's just find some tester. And we can say that we need something like A to Z and 0 to 9 as a group. And this should start with square bracket, and this should end with square bracket as well. Okay, so as you can see, this regular expression gives us IDs we need. It's back to our script. So. And we have this output, so what we can do is we can just split it by line break, so the string. So let's say devices list raw lines, and we will split by new line, and then we can iterate line. I'm sure there is a way better way to do this, but for now I just need to solve this, and I'm trying to find the most simple way. Let's see if we have any match first. And if we do, let's just output it. First match. So in theory, we should get these lines, right? Okay. Group 0. And we are sure that there is a match because we already checked here had a match. So first match is not null, so we can just this. Okay, so we get a list of our IDs. Run tests, it's just this string. So device ID. And as you can see, we have brackets here, so we don't need them. Let's just do replace all. And replace all. This one. So we should get a list of our IDs. Yep. And let's just make sure it's the right list. So 0, 8, and the last one is 8. Yeah, it's the right one. Now what we need to do is we want to find device name, and the problem is that sometimes brackets here as well. So the most easier option, I think, is just to cut from a string from 0 and end it right here. Let's try it. So we have our full string. So let's say device name is row line from 0 to device ID. Okay, seems like it's right. The only problem is this bracket, square bracket, and empty spaces at the beginning. So I'd say it's index of device ID -1, and then we can also trim this to remove empty spaces. And now we have a list of our devices. So now we can say devices and device. And this is iOS. Now let's just define the string here to be able to debug. So it's name and ID. And we can just print our devices. And let's do reduce value. because we want some nice output, like ideally each device should be on a separate line. So it's device name and device ID. Perfect. So let's comment this. Maybe we will need to use this in the future, but maybe okay. Now we have a list of our iOS devices, and what we can do is we can just iterate all of them. Device, iOS devices, and we can do what we did here. Device, and we can say starting device name. And let's replace our IT with device.id. Yep. We also pass device name over here, so let's do device.name starting device. Down. Let's just add tabulation. I don't like these warnings, to be honest, so let's just disable them for this file. Let's ignore them. So if you run our script in theory, what should happen? We should generate screenshots for all of the devices we have in this list, right? So let's try it. Okay, it's a good sign. Here we have our tests, and it's iPhone 8. Let's see if we can receive our screenshots here. And here is it, iPhone 8. Still have this empty image issue. Need to figure out what to do with it. Okay, and as we can see, now we are starting device iPhone SE 3rd generation, and we are running tests on it. Also, the name of the device is iPhone 8, which is great, and screenshots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. Now we see the tests are running on iPhone SE. Okay. And we got it. The only problem is there is no images. Okay, let's try to seems like it's working. Let's try to deal with Android now, and then we can try to debug this issue with empty images. Okay, for Android it's a little bit different. In order to get a list of emulators, we can just use emulator list Android virtual devices list AFDS. Okay. And now if you want to launch one emulator AVD, let's say Nexus 6. And here is our emulator. Now, as you can see, we receive this log called boot completed. And also, if we press Ctrl C and we close this process, our emulator will be closed as well. This is important for the future. Let's keep this in mind. But for now, let's just receive the list of Android devices. We don't have IDs, we just have names, but we can just set up name and ID as the same way. Let's create a function called get Android devices. We can actually copy this. Later, this. And let's just split this to new line, and then for each line, we can try to create a new device. And this is Android. Let's print it. Let's comment work with iOS for now. We don't need this. Android devices. And as you can see, we receive the same. The only concern I have is this empty device. I don't know what this is, so let's try to debug this. So print device raw. It seems like there is an empty one, so let's just add a quick check. It is not empty. Okay. Seems like it's correct now. And now let's try to process all Android devices. Android devices. So for iOS, we are starting our process with run, because process can be finished and we still have our simulator here. But with Android, it's not the case. And with Android, we need to use start. And the difference between run and start is that when we start a process, we can just continue execution of our script. Let me show you what I mean by this. So if we do emulator ADD, and now it should be our device ID. If we just do something like run and we are saying that we are starting device, we run our, obviously it should be await emulators, and we are running tests, and then we end this and try again. Let's just try to run the script and see what happens. So our Nexus 4 is starting. It's starting. And as you can see, nothing happens. And the problem is that our emulator is running constantly and process is not exiting. So this await actually blocks our execution. So what we need to do, we need to use start. Let's close this one. And start returns process. Let's try to run this one now. Now the problem is that we are calling running tests even before our process, our emulator is ready, which is not right as well. So that's why I said it's important to see the output of boot completed. So basically what should happen is we need to wait until our emulator is ready, and only then we need to start running our tests. Now let's see how we can do this. Our process variable has stream called stdout, and we can listen to the stream. Actually, we can map it first, because we need to something like streams from shellcodes. Let's call it raw. And let's just listen to all these events and print them. Let's shut it down. As you can see, we are getting all the same output as we get before. Okay, it's a total mess. So we need to find first where our log contains a string boot completed. Let's just double check how it looks like. And we don't see it here, so it's probably because it's restored. So what we need to see, emulator minus h, emulator help minus help. Okay. So we need to run our emulator is in specific mode, saying that we don't want to open it from the snapshot. So now snapshot performs a full boot and do not autosave. So let's try this one. Emulator, no snapshot. And we have this boot completed log. So let's shut it down. And now we can actually await for boot completed. And we can say we are running tests. Let's not run them actually for now. Let's just wait. And then we can kill this process. So it's very simple, just process.kill. And it's not even a think operation, it's a sync operation. So let's try this. What should happen? We should start all Android devices one by one, all emulators we have. Yeah, so emulator. Nexus 4, Nexus 5, Nexus 6P, Nexus S, Nexus 4 XL. We should wait for seconds and then we need to kill them. Let's try this. So this is our Nexus. Oh, wait a second. We need to add this no snapshot option first. Okay, now we are ready. We are starting our Nexus 4. Okay, we waited. And as you can see, we are not receiving running tests while it's still opening, because we are waiting for boot completed, and we receive. Okay, boot completed, running tests. Perfect. We wait for 4 seconds, and then we close it. Now let's actually try to generate screenshots for all these devices. And this is how we can do this. Running tests. So our screenshots directory is right now empty. Let's start our script. It seems like our test starting. Nice. Okay. And we can see screenshots from Nexus 4. Now let's see if we can get them from Nexus 5. Awesome, and we have screenshots from Nexus 5 as well. Okay, I'll stop it here. Now, it should be very simple to combine this together. Let's just say starting process is different for Android and for iOS, but this part test is the same. So let's create a method called run tests. And we need to get device here. So we can get device name. And we can say just run tests device. And as for this one, let's create an array of our devices, and for each device we can say process Android device. And we can also create a function called process iOS. Also, there is no for here, obviously. Yep. So now if device is Android, process Android. If device is iOS, process iOS. And we need to run this in all our devices. Now a couple of extra things. I want to measure how long does the script take. So what I do is start time, date time, now, and the end time. And now I can say that we are done in script time is end time milliseconds minus start time seconds. And I want just to enter duration. Okay. I think we are good to go. Let's. Okay, I also constantly remove screenshots. So let's just remove it as well. So if screenshots directory exists before running new test, we will remove it. So now let's screen it and let's see. So we're running this on our iPhone 8. I'll probably speed up this video segment because it takes some time. Okay, guys, and everything is done. We have a couple of problems. So First one is that it took 17 minutes to complete this run. And I'd say the obvious way to optimize this is just to make sure we run our test on devices we really need. Because right now we have like iPhone 14 Plus, iPhone 14 Pro, and iPhone 14. Like there is basically no difference between these two devices in terms of Flutter UI. And we don't need all these iPads. So I'd say we need to introduce something like filtering for our devices. And the most easy way to do this is just do something like filter device IDs and create a list of IDs we don't really want. Let's just run our list of devices. So iPhone 8 is fine. iPhone 14 Pro, let's remove it. Pro Max, let's remove iPad Air. Basically, I will remove all iPads except iPad Pro 12 and 9 inches. And we can do something like devices. Okay, so this should remove these devices and this should speed up our test. We have a second issue, and second issue is that sometimes results look like this. Okay, let's fix an issue with our empty images. I googled this and spent some time researching, and what I found is there is an issue called widget test does not load local asset until second test run. It's pretty old, and the answer of how to fix it is basically here. Have you tried pre-cache image? There is some debate and discussion here. It's not a very popular issue, but what I tried is just calling pre-cache image and basically catching first image we have on our onboard screen, the one we had problem with the most. The trick is that pre-cache image also requires build context. And what we can do is we can find an element by type, and because our root widget is my app, so I'm just saying give me an element of my app, and this is our build context. So I ran this multiple times, and seems like there is no issue with an image. So each device has this image, and basically everything is working as expected. Okay, there is another fix I did. So previously I used just Future.wait. I replaced this with Binding.delayed, both here and in our tab and take screenshot. So now it's Binding.delayed. Let's also address one more issue we have. So right now, if we open our simulator and let's say we used some simulator for development like iPhone 14 Pro Max. And what if I try to run our test screen right now? What will happen is iPhone 8 will start, but it will shut down without any explanation of what's going on. Now, how can we debug what's happening? So basically, we need to go to run tests and see what the output of this process was. Result, and we can just do print result std out. If you run this again, let's wait. We will see that more than one device connected, and basically our command Flutter drive is confused and doesn't know on which device to run. So what I think we should do is we should just try to shut down all simulators. So basically it's you can see that some of them are booted, like this one and this one. So it will be. The command is similar to boot. It's just shut down, and we need to provide an ID. And let's also shut down this one. I'd say my brute force approach would be just to iterate through list of all iOS devices and shut down them. Let's create another function for this. So we just need shut down device ID. And also, for it to happen, if we close our simulator right now and open our simulator app, you can notice that it usually starts the last open simulator for us. So what I think we need to do is let's just open our simulator app from the console. So if it's already opened and we try to open our simulator app, nothing will happen because it's already opened and the system will just ignore it. But if it's closed and we try to open it, it will open the last open simulator. So I think what we need to do is just open this from our script and then wait for some time and then shut down all iOS devices and then start execution of our script again. Let's do this right here. So and now we can shut down iOS devices. So basically what I want to achieve is it shouldn't matter if you have simulator open or not. So let's try this. Let's say nothing is open and we just run our script for the first time. So as you can see, running tests. Let's wait for the first screenshot to appear. Okay, and we also see output. It's enough for now. Let's just remove our output. This is iOS tests, so we don't really need this. We can keep this for the future if you need to debug something. Now, let's say we have our simulator open, and let's say iPhone 14 Pro Max. So we can make sure we receive screenshots from our iPhone 8. And now let's try to run our script again. And as you can see, iPhone 14 was closed. Screenshots folder disappeared. And we're running tests again on our iPhone 8, and everything should work perfectly now. Okay guys, seems like our script improved a lot. And seems like it's final version. So let's try to do the final run. So we will see everything from start to finish. Here's our terminal. And I'll speed up this on the video so you won't need to wait for a long time, but just for the sake of demo, what we achieved in this couple of hours. And everything is done, just a little bit less than 9 minutes. So let's see our results, screenshots. This is our iPad, iPhone. Okay. Now let's say we want to share this with our teammates and or even for ourselves just for easier preview. I created a plugin just for myself called Screenshots, where you can select a folder and we will upload and nicely align screenshots based on the folders. Let me know in comments if you want me to share this plugin with you. I'll upload it to GitHub. And we can easily see that there are some issues on small screens and on big ones as well. On regular phones, seems like everything looks great. I'll also upload this script to Gist so everyone can use it and modify it. Feel free to let me know if there are any issues. Thank you guys.